Hello everyone! A few days ago I did a video called Every Electron is a Groovebox where I showed that you can use the Elektron Analog 4 as a Groovebox. You could view it as an analog polysynth, although it was intended as basically for monosynth when it came out. But yeah, all the Elektron machines have this ability to sequence different tracks and to create grooves by combining drum sounds, melodic sounds, and all kinds of stuff. And the Digitone, which I'm going to look at today, is not an exception. It's also very versatile, and it actually is very good at drum sounds. For instance, the kick drum sounds, I think I prefer those over the ones that are in the factory presets of the Analog 4. So yeah, 8 voices, 4 sequencer tracks. So what I'm going to do is, again, using parameter locks and maybe sound locks, I'm going to use more than one sound on some of the tracks, and also take advantage of the polyphony here and maybe make like a polyphonic pad sound or something. See if we can use all those 8 tracks to make something cool. So without further ado, I'll just quickly adjust the tempo here. And first track, I have a filter already set up for kick drums in the sounds here. I was going through some sounds. Lots of good kick drum sounds. This is a nice one. You know me, I'm a 4 to the floor guy. I was looking at doing sound locks to create a kick and a sub bass on one track, but I couldn't really find a good sub bass in the sound pool. Now, of course, I can change any sound in the sound pool, but I thought, well, why don't I just set up a sound basically from scratch for the sub bass in between these kick drum notes. So let's just do that. I'll create a trick here, go to the synth page, and for instance, just start with a sine wave. Use the function here, usually allows you to jump between important values such as 0 or maximum. Okay, well, this is probably good. Feedback to 0. Let's put everything on output X, and no special ratios here. Let's put these to 0, and for the amplifier, let's make it a softer attack. The filter, let's get rid of the filter envelope here. Okay, so can't hear what this is doing, all these changes, but let's just try it by quickly copying these. Still get this clicky sort of attack going here. So yeah, what to do about that? I think could be something to do with the LFO here. That is probably used as sort of a one-shot to make the pitch envelope for the kick. So what if I get rid of that? Interesting, this diving into these patches really helps you understand how they work, of course. And yeah, about FM synthesis and how it works on this machine. So let's see if I'm right and we have less clickiness now. Yeah. Okay, so that's a kick and a sub bass track. Fortunately, the sub bass isn't really cutting short the kick that much. Probably like a good balance. If I were to record this into something like Ableton Live and work on it further, I would definitely record the kick and the sub bass separately. But for this little loop we're making, it's very convenient to have 2 sounds on one track because that saves precious sequencer space. Okay, so let's look at those sounds in the sound pool. Just double click here. Get rid of this filter. Oh, double click. Side menu here, view pool. That loads it. I'm not really into using the sound pool that much yet, because I've been really in trying to learn these machines, just making a lot of sounds from scratch. But of course the sound pool is extremely useful. Let's find two cool sounds that I can alternate between and use the sound lock feature, which is completely awesome. Okay, maybe this one. It's a little bit too much like a horn. Some nice hi-hats here, some really cool percussive sounds, snares. Listen to that, that's the completely convincing electronic snare. I mean, not convincing for an analog snare, for a physical snare drum, but yeah, they're just really good electronic drum sounds. Something you may not expect from this synth. If you're expecting like an FM poly synth, like a Yamaha DX or something. This is also a really nice clap sound with something about it. I don't know. Let's just try something here. My finger drumming is awful as usual, but let's see. I'll set up the metronome here by function and holding pattern. It gives us a count in. Not too bad. Quantize recording to the rescue here. So we have all these steps left to do other cool stuff with. So let's say I make a trick here. I'll hold it and I'll just start scrolling here. And we'll go to the sound pool again, which you can now preview with yes button. So let's find something contrasting to the clap-like sound we have here. Maybe something snare-ish. Don't use snares too often. Yeah, maybe this one. So now we've put this on the first step. Let's make another one. Let's make it a little bit softer in volume. Actually, copy the wrong thing here. Copy this and put this in here. I forgot to copy it, I just added another clap. So this one has a high volume, I'll give this one a slightly lower volume. Maybe pitch it a little bit differently as well, let's see if we can do that. So this synth doesn't really have its own noise generator. You can make noisy sounds with stuff like feedback, which is really cool. Let's see if I can succeed in making this lower tuned. So first of all, let's look at the output here. So X and a Y both doing their thing. So what if I turn it to 1? Okay, and the other? Doesn't change anything, that's interesting. Maybe that's my poor understanding of this. So the pitch, so it works differently here, the pitch in a normal analog synth where you would have a tune parameter. Here I think I'm going to try doing something with the ratio offset. See if that does anything. Not really. Okay, well, I don't think the pitch matters. You can change the pitch here with these arrows. Well, it does change the sound. Anyway, let's go for something else. We have some steps left here. Maybe put something here, a little parameter lock. Sorry, sound lock. Let's go a little bit to the end of the pool here. More claps. basses, pads, more kicks. Maybe this one. Okay, let's edit that a little bit. Lower the volume, give it some reverb. Let's look at the filter here. Take out some of the low end. Make this a little bit quieter again. Maybe have this one here. Okay, well, so that's 3 sounds on one track. So that's already 5 different sounds on 2 tracks and only using 2 voices. So talk about efficient programming here. Let's go for a hi-hat or something, or a shaker. We have all these hi-hat sounds here. Just excellent sounding stuff. I like this. I need to select it first, yeah, and then I can. Yeah, lower the volume a little bit. Maybe some reverb. Now again, in keeping with the whole efficiency thing, I'll make a trick here and look at the sound pool for a separate shorter hi-hat sound or shaker-like sound to fill in the blanks between these 8th notes. Something like that, that's fine. Okay, so copy that, paste, 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 paste. Again, 2 tracks on 1 sound, works great. Let's give it a little bit of variation in volume. Let's just record some amp automation. No, I'm just gonna do that by hand. So this one I'll leave the same, this one I'll lower a little bit, and this one too. Subtle, not too much. Maybe this is too subtle. Who cares? I'll just copy these here and these here and this one here. Okay, so that is 3 tracks, 7 sounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and still only 3 voices. So that should give us 5 voices left on the final track. Let's see if that's true. That's 7. But when it's playing, yeah, I think when I touched this one, that one disappeared. But you can hear, yeah. Five voices left. So let's look at some sort of, I don't know, pad sound. I don't think there's really anything suitable in the sound pool. Let's just make something from scratch. Let's start with something that resembles more like a real chord. Something like this. So I'll just record this. See if we can play that. copy this here. That's my awful timing. Let's see, and how long is this? It says it's just a 16th step pattern. Okay, so that's fine. It's doing something weird here. Let's see. Trig length. Let's just make that infinite for everything. It's doing something weird, I don't know. Doesn't matter, let's just make this sound a bit more interesting, because I'm not really interested in... it sort of sounds like a Detroit thing, which is nice, but let's make it a little bit more edgy. Sound. I'll just mute these ones. Get rid of the metronome. Something I tend to forget. Okay, so let's try maybe some different algorithm here. Doesn't matter because it's all still a sine wave. Need to set up these. Different algorithms, very different outcomes. Let's put this in the middle here, so we have both outputs. And can change the wave, the feedback. Makes it noisy. Detune. Interesting. And also this offset here. That makes it more... tends to make it more inharmonic, as you can hear. And you can also play with these ratios, of course. The weirder they get, the noisier they get. And then there's also the possibility of creating these envelopes. Yeah, what I'll do with this trick, go to the conditional stuff and make it a 1 in 8 so it runs nice and long. Doesn't repeat every bar, only 1 in every 8 bars. And give it a softer, the whole sound, a longer attack. Very dissonant sounding stuff here. Scary. Let's do something with the LFO. Let's just randomize it, see if we can get something cool out of there. Oh. Something like that. That's weirdness. Okay, let's shape this a little bit here. Get rid of some of the low end. Maybe some reverb. I'll make the reverb longer. Well, if I want to go for some sort of horror movie sound, it's working, I guess. See what it sounds like together with the rest. This one. I'm not gonna win any awards here for this thing. Maybe I'll try some different LFO things here, just for fun. That could work. Let's see, which one is this? The speed here. Scrambling to make something vaguely musical here. Anyway, you get the point. So it's more about the idea than about the outcome of what it actually sounds like. I think the first 3 tracks went well, and then, you know, just sort of missed in front of an open goal with the 4th one. But the point being that you can have 8 tracks all at once using 8 voices all at once using 4 sequencer tracks. And that you can do a lot with sound locking and parameter locking, as is always one of the things that Elektron is famous for, that people mention. And as you can see, it's not actually that difficult to set up. And it's just a lot of fun exploring this stuff. So yeah, that was basically part 2 in my Every Elektron is a Groovebox series. And in the next video, I'll look at the Digitakt, which of course is the most obvious Groovebox, being a drum sampler. But for fun, I'll use that to make something more synthy and use the samples not as drum samples, but maybe for a little ambient piece or something like that. So that's all I have for you today. Just a little reminder, look at the video description if you want my free sample set, Too Many DFAM Kicks, which is a sample pack consisting of, as the name suggests, quite a few kicks I sampled from the Moog DFAM. Completely free, check it out. And thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and that stuff if you want to see more. And I shall see you on the next one. Bye bye.